day-to-day habits start off with me drinking coffee. I can just smell it and want to have a taste of it. It starts off at 5:30 in the morning, and sometimes it ends at 5:30 in the morning. It's like a 24-hour thing. It's almost where I cannot put a time limit on how much coffee I drink. I find myself day-to-day drinking more and more. And, it's hard. It's very hard, difficult for some people, but for me, it's very hard. Sometimes I gotta go through withdrawals. I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside. I'm truly crying inside. I get to work, and I can't function without it. I mean, I walk around, I'm bouncing off the walls, and people are like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, well, how you doing? We're trying to figure out this thing, but it's almost like an addiction that I have, and some people might have a drug addiction, but I got a coffee addiction, and it gets you hyper, and you can't. Look at me now. I mean, this caffeine is almost ruining my life. At work, people talk behind my back, or maybe I'm thinking they talk behind my back, but they're really not. It's just because me being so paranoid from the caffeine. I find myself wondering if they talking about me or what. I need to talk to somebody, but who should I talk to? I mean, should I go through the yellow page and find a doctor saying addicted to caffeine? I mean, where can you find something like that? Should I go on the internet? I mean, if you find yourself walking the streets of Washington, D.C. at 1:30 in the morning, going into a 7-Eleven to buy a cup of coffee, you tell me, do you got a problem with that? And you just had a cup of coffee at home at 1 o'clock. Can you tell me where I need to go? It's very difficult. I leave out the house late at night, and my wife wake up and she see that I'm gone, and she's wondering where I'm at. She thinking I'm having an affair. Can you believe that? My wife is thinking I'm having an affair. The truth of the matter, I am having an affair. Caffeine. I lost my job behind coffee and caffeine. I got so paranoid and anxious that I cussed my damn boss out. I told him, look here, this is my habit, this is what I'm going to do. You just cut. This is over with. I can't take it anymore. Get my damn coffee, man. Hey, I'm sorry about last week, fellas. I just got caught up in my feelings. This is a very difficult subject to talk about. Being addicted to coffee, man. Ever since I was a kid, just the smell of it, the way it tastes, sometimes the way it looked, man, you see the steam coming from the cup, and the steam just pulls you towards it, and it was just very emotional last week, fellas, so I apologize to y'all for that, just leaving without saying anything, but hey, I'm here to help you guys today, and, I just want to finish telling you my story, I can recall talking to my mom, and she was telling me that she drank coffee when she was pregnant with me. Maybe that could have been part of the reason I'm so addicted to coffee. My dad told me one snowstorm, him and my mom was shacked up together, and all they did is make love and drink coffee, so that could have been part of the reason I'm addicted to coffee. It could have started back then, way before I was even conceived. I first started drinking coffee when I was about 5, maybe 6 years old, just coming downstairs on Saturday mornings and smelling the coffee, and my mom would be cooking and drinking her coffee and on the phone, and I would probably go in there and, take a sip of coffee from her, And then, it just revolved from that. Me just loving it. And after I got older, I started sneaking around, learning how to make my own coffee, putting cream and sugar in it. And it got too bad. It got to a point where I was going back using the same coffee grinds that my mom had made and just keep hitting the restart button, and it just drained the coffee over and over again. And until it was just water almost. But that's what the addiction done to me. That's what it was doing to me. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, it was something that I loved to taste. I still do. Got to a point where I got older and I started buying my own coffee, but 13 years old, you won't call that older, but that's what I was doing, buying coffee at 13. I can recall going into the store and asking for the coffee, and the guy was like, "Who is this coffee for?" And I said, "Hey, it's for my mom," That's before I was going to school. I had to save up my allowance, and needless to say, eventually I stopped buying the candy and just started buying all coffee. I mean, morning, noon, and night, coffee this, coffee that, I even named my dog Coffee. And it got so bad. I mean, going to school at the age of 8, jacked up on caffeine, man, it was crazy. I can recall getting into middle school and, sneaking into the teacher's lounge. I would raise my hand in class and tell my teacher I had to go to the restroom. But the whole time I was thinking about caffeine, and I was sneaking to the teacher's lounge and grabbed that cup of coffee. And I had to drink it kind of fast before I went back to class, because I couldn't take the coffee back into the classroom, Once I got into high school, it was easy. I mean, I found a way to just get around the security guards, my teachers, the counselors. We had a vending machine that I can buy coffee from out of. I can sneak into the teacher lounge. We had a shop around the corner, a coffee shop around the corner I'll sneak into. I would have 3 cups of coffee before lunch when I was in high school. And let me remind you, we couldn't leave the premises. But I found a way to avoid all those traps because, I was addicted to coffee and caffeine. And as I got older, I met my wife in a coffee shop, started dating, and, we would meet every evening in the coffee shop, and, our relationship progressed. And one thing led to another, and, we started a family. A part of me hoped that I didn't pass the same gene down to my kids. Because of right now, due to this coffee addiction, my wife decided to move in with her parents. I was up walking around the house all types of night. Yeah, I thought I went through a purse a couple of times to run out to get a cup of coffee. And if you're watching this, baby, I want to tell you I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you.